How are we looking time-wise, Val?
You're great. You have such good instincts for that.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes I literally time it, and this week I didn't. What's up, everybody? This is I Love Improv with Trent Dozier. I'm Trent Dozier. I love improv. Excited to be here with you this week. Thank you for joining us live on Twitch. If you are doing so now, if you're in the Twitch chat, give a shout out to yourself. What's up to everybody who's there watching live? If you're listening in the future on a podcast, thank you for joining us in the future. As always, the show starts with the music that you hear, but I don't hear it, which is why I always ask Val if I'm, in my range, I can stop dancing or not. And speaking of Val, everybody, if you're in the chat, please say hello to our technical support, the Queen of Trident, one of my favorite people in the world, Val Agnew. Hey, Val.
Aw, thanks, Trent. Hi.
How's it going today, Val?
I'm great. I'm excited. I'm going to see Eternals later, so I just have a night full of fun with you and then superheroes.
I'm actually going to see Eternals later as well, so we are simpatico on that wavelength.
As we often are.
Yes, as we often are. This is I Love Improv with Trent Dozier. We are on twitch.tv/The Trident Network. This show is a part of the Trident Network. Wow, very cool. The Trident Network is, of course, a three-pronged form of content provider. One is live shows like this. We're on Twitch all the time on this Twitch channel. Two would be pre-recorded stuff, which you can find on the Trident Network's YouTube channel or the tridentnetwork.com. And of course, this show is also a podcast, which is the third prong of the Trident Network. A ton of great podcasts there. Check those out. Going back to Twitch, and this channel specifically, if you are interested in keeping up with not only this show, but all the other Trident Twitch shows, you can subscribe to this channel by hitting the subscribe button, which is below me somewhere.
Other side. Keep going.
This
Keep going.
way.
Right there.
Right there. Hit that button. That'll get you subscribed. You can use the Party Dolphin, which is the exclusive emote of the Trident Network. You can throw some Party Dolphin claps in the chat. Val, I don't know what you're doing in the chat right now. Maybe showing everybody how to do cool things.
That's what I'm doing.
That's great. Val's the master. I think that's anything I'm missing technically. Oh, yes, there is. I remembered it before Val could even answer. If you are a Amazon Prime customer, you can use your Amazon Prime account to subscribe to the Trident Network Twitch channel for no additional cost. So if you ask me, that's pretty cool. Something cool to do. Get those Party Dolphin emotes going, huh? Mm-hmm. Am I missing anything else, Val?
No, you crushed it. Per usual.
Per usual. Thank you. High praise. High praise from Val. All right, let's get into the episode this week. Thanks everybody for joining us. As always, I will be doing improv with a guest of mine, and then afterwards we will be talking about the improv that you saw and or improv in general, or sometimes nothing related to improv at all. We'll see where the conversation takes us. If at any point you have a question or anything that you want asked, feel free to throw that in the chat later in the back half of the show, and Val will relay that information to us. If you got nothing to say, that's great too. Sit back and listen. This week, I feel very lucky to have someone on the show who I have a decade and a half nearly long relationship with. This is one of my first ever improv teachers back in either 2009 or 2010. He was one of my teachers at Comedy Sports San Jose back when I was a young buck, first starting out in the improv scene. He's an incredible performer, one of my favorite performers to watch. And he is in addition to being a friend and mentor to me, he is a founder and owner of the Made Up Theater, which is the one of the best indie improv theaters in the world. It's in Fremont, California. We'll talk more about Made Up Theater at the end. If you're ever in Fremont, please go check out Made Up Theater. Some of the best shows you can see are there. Please welcome to the screen or your ears or however it's going, Bobby August Jr. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, wow, what an intro. That was amazing.
I try to be truthful, and it just so happened that being truthful in my intro was amazing for you. How's it going, Bobby?
Great. I'm so glad to be here. This is awesome. Great. Always lovely to see you, Trenty.
Yes, thank you. Bobby, as I said, is one of the owners and founders of Made Up Theater. There are 4 of them in existence, and Bobby is the first one that we were able to get on this podcast. Very exciting for me personally. In the future, I plan to have all 4 of them eventually. But Bobby, you're up first. Congrats.
Thanks, man. I didn't know you invited the others.
I've talked. We've had discussions. I've invited you on the podcast before. We just have to, nail down specific times.
Yes.
Anyway, that's logistics talks. Tune into my other podcast, Talking Logistics, when we talk logistics later. So we'll get this started right now. If you are in the chat, we would love a suggestion for a scene to do. Couple things. First, if you're giving a suggestion, thank you. We don't want something, general. We don't want just a suggestion of chair. We would like something to set the stage for our scene. So something specific like Bobby is a chair salesman and Trent has 2 wooden pirate legs and he's trying to purchase this chair from Bobby, and Bobby also wears hats. Whatever, something way better than that I'm sure you're all capable of. If you know me and Bobby, feel free to throw a scene suggestion out there right now. If you don't know me and Bobby, these next couple of minutes of conversation might help inspire you come up with a suggestion that you want. And here's what that is. Bobby, I'm going to tell you what I love about you as an improviser. Does that sound good to you?
This is the only reason I'm on the show, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, people are starting to just accept invites to the show because they know it always starts with compliments. So
I love it.
Bobby, not only were you one of my first teachers, and you have taught many classes that I have been a part of, and I have shadowed you as a teacher actually. So your teaching style has influenced a lot of my improv teaching style. Also, if you don't like my improv teaching style, it's Bobby's fault. So seeing you as like a leader and a role model off stage, I think has been huge for me and kind of developing who I wanted to be as an improviser, especially when I moved from the Bay Area to Chicago. I think the way that you and all the Made Up Theater guys were really informed me on like just how to be a good person and how to be humble and still how to fuse that with having fun. So all of that is great. Off stage, you're an incredible mentor, an incredible teacher. But we're here to talk about on stage. And on stage, I love watching you perform. You are one of, and this includes Chicago people, you are, as an improviser, one of the best actors that I know. It's very hard. I love to get people to break, and I've seen you laugh off stage, and it's very hard to get you to break on stage, but when you do, it's so rewarding. Otherwise, you are just you're a good actor. I think we can all admit that. And you're acting on stage in improv scenes, I think, is super helpful to establishing stuff in the world and in the shows. And Made Up Theater, if you don't know, I would say the biggest and the best show that they do is long form narrative shows. And so it's just one story all the way throughout. So you're great at playing simple, basic characters. You're also great at playing these zany, over the top one-offs. And above all, I think you're great at keeping the story in line, keeping track of everything. You're a great team player, great at tracking everything. It's just, on stage and off, you are someone who is a leader. And I think there are a lot of funny people in improv who aren't necessarily leaders. So I think it's very cool to have someone who is good, but can also lead, if that makes any sense. How do you feel
Yeah.
about all that? Too
So
high of
far,
praise?
No, I mean, it's perfect so far. Let's keep going, shall we?
No, that's it. I have nothing else nice to say.
No, that's so nice to hear these words, Trent. Yeah, I totally agree with you in the sense that I think often a lot of the shows, I'm kind of that grounded character that the audience can see the show through me, like through
Uh-huh.
my eyes, and so
Yeah.
if something is weird, I'm gonna call it out and bring attention to it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, completely 100% go with whatever is being offered. I think that's one of
Yeah.
the great things about what we do, at Made Up Theater, or especially the 5 play dudes. Like
Mm-hmm.
how crazy, I guess it doesn't matter. We still keep it grounded in, like, we believe 100% in what it is. So yeah.
Yeah. A thing we've definitely talked about on the show before is that no matter how crazy the world gets, it's always, you can get as crazy as you want as long as you're not like, that's crazy, this
Yeah.
guy's a shark on land, or what. As long as you are treating everything as the characters with the weight it deserves, then it heightens that reality for everybody, including the audience. And you're right, you and specifically the 5 play guys at Made Up Theater do that exceptionally well, which is why I think those shows are always incredibly well, because you blend the real with the silly extremely well, and you treat it with the respect that it deserves.
Yeah, I think that's what makes our shows so much fun for us too, because we surprise
Yeah.
each other, but we're gonna still, 100% accept and go with it. And it's just a fun ride. Like, it's amazing that we get paid to just crazily have fun with our best friends on stage. Like, and those are our best shows, and we're just having fun, and the audience is along for the ride, and we're like, oh yeah, you're there too.
It's truly the best. A 5 play show at Made Up Theater is the best. We'll talk more about Made Up Theater at the end.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough praise for Bobby August Jr.
Thank you.
Now it's time to get a suggestion, and that suggestion will then inform the improv scene that Bobby and I are about to do. If you have a suggestion, please throw it into the chat right now. There is approximately like a 20 or so second delay between what I'm saying now and when you're hearing it. So I'll fill a little bit of time here now, just chit chatting with old bobbers. Yeah, stretch it out. 5 play, who Bobby mentioned, is the improv team that is also the co-founders and co-owners of Made Up Theater, which Bobby is a part of. They were the team that started it all. A team expanded into a theater. Very cool stuff. How's it looking on the suggestion front, Val?
Well, someone very close to your heart has given a great suggestion, so I think that's what we're gonna go with.
Is it from Nia?
Yeah, it's from Nia.
Hey, it's not the first time we've had a suggestion from Nia, and it certainly won't be the last. Thank you, Nia. Val, what's the suggestion?
Okay. Bobby is a wizard and Trent is his apprentice. Trent forgot to order more magic crystals, so now they can't cast a very important spell they've been preparing to cast for months.
Okay, sounds good. Sound good to you, Bobby?
Yes.
All right, have
All right,
fun.
thank you very much, Nia. Thank you, Val. Oh, master, I thought the blood crystals were on my list, and I'm just seeing now that they were not on my list. So this is purely, oh no, I could run back. I could pop back over to the store.
Do you know how many red full moons we get per lifetime?
Yes, we only get 2 red full moons per lifetime.
And how many have we already had?
We've already had 1 red full moon. This will be our second one. This is the last chance. You've really beat that into me. I know that.
Therefore, I will die, not getting to do what I have always wanted. So I'm going to accept it.
No, let me listen.
Your failure has caused me to miss out on a lifelong goal.
No, please, master, I'll pop back over to the Circle K. I'll get the blood diamonds. I'll pop back. We'll still have enough time to execute the potion, and then you will become a turtle like you've always wanted to be.
Ah, it's a tortoise.
Sorry.
tortoise,
That's what I
do
meant.
not listen to anything that I've taught you.
No, I do. You know, I listened. I remember that there were 2 red moons, red full moons in the entire. There's 2. Here's the thing. There's 2 red full moons for everybody per lifetime, and you need blood crystals as a part of the potion. And when you do a certain potion, you can become a tortoise for a limited time, and that's a lifelong goal for you, Master. I know that.
You know, it's my fault. Just hearing you say it back to me and your inability to say it correctly, it's totally my fault. It's okay.
No, I've had a lot going on at home. I've had a lot going on at home this week. And so
What has been going on? Please enlighten me.
oh, my crow is dying.
Your crow?
My crow is dying, and he's been shitting everywhere, and I just don't know how to get it under control. So I took him into the vet, and the vet was like, I think this is a raven. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a crow, but the vet was like, I'm a doctor. And so I told him to F off. So I didn't get a diagnosis
Wait
for
a
the
second.
crow.
You have a hybrid raven crow excrement available?
I'm not sure. I think it's pure crow excrement. The doctor was saying it's pure raven excrement, but I suppose it could be a hybrid crow raven excrement. I could check.
Go get it now.
No need to leave. I keep a pouch of donkey's poop in my pocket.
Lovely. Quick, look at the index. Part 2B on the blood crystal moon night. The substitutions, quickly. What
I'm
are
looking.
the substitutions?
This is a huge book. I'm looking.
Quickly, it's appendix 2B. I told you, 2B.
I know, but that's 2. It's 2 A through Z. So there's a lot.
Look for the substitutions. What can we substitute for the blood crystal red moon?
I'm reading it. I'm going. Okay, let's see. So when you're looking at a
memory
thing,
serves me right. I'm an old man, but if memory serves me right, it's going to be. Oh shit! It's almost my time.
No, Master. No, not the jingles of the death. I'm sorry,
Please,
Master. I'm trying.
please.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, if blood crystals are not available, 3 options are available for substitution. 1, the blood of a crystal. That seems redundant.
That is the same thing. I can't believe they put that in there.
2 crystals crystallized out of blood. Okay, these all seem.
What is 3? What is 3?
3 is hybrid raven and crow excrement / feces. So okay, so you're right.
So
Okay,
we can
but
test to determine if it is truly a hybrid raven crow or if it's just a crow by if it works or not.
okay, how are we supposed to test? Do I need to get Donkey in here?
Yes. Unfortunately, we're going to have to sacrifice him. Is that okay?
What? We have to sacrifice to find out if he's a. Can't we find out while he's still
Isn't
alive?
he dying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. He's sick at least.
Well, I think that's good enough.
Okay, here, let me call him. Donkey, come! Ah! Okay, Donkey is here.
Okay, say your goodbyes. I will prepare.
We're gonna kill him right now.
I'm preparing. Please say your goodbyes. Tell him
Oh.
everything that you needed to tell him.
Donkey, I love you. You are my best friend. You are the greatest friend I've had in this life. I have suspected you were a crow this whole time. Maybe you're a raven, maybe you're a hybrid. I don't know. We're about to find out. It seems that you're sick enough for me to put you down. So this is fine. I feel fine about this. And finally, I will finally reveal what Donkey is short for. And Donkey is short for Duncanville, Amy Poehler's animated show on Fox. I'm a huge fan, and I'm just glad that we could watch episodes together. And okay, I'm ready.
He doesn't look happy. He looks quite sad.
I just told him that he was about to be killed.
We cannot sacrifice a crow / raven with hate in its heart. You must say to it what you've always needed to say without knowing what it is that you must say. Please do that.
I have to say what I've always needed to say without knowing what it is.
Yes.
Oh,
This is how you let your instinct and heart-warming words come out before you sacrifice your best friend.
If I was a bird, we would be together, flying around the world, pooping from the skies and our hearts.
Wait a second. You are truly in love with this? In that sense that if you were a bird, you would be a couple?
I think so. I'm just speaking from my heart, and I got to a point where regular speak couldn't handle the emotion enough, so I broke into song.
Song speak, yes. That's true allowing of your heart to fill and release. Oh my gosh, we cannot sacrifice this being.
That's what I've been trying. That's what I'm saying.
But it touches my soul to know that you have that ability. I just thought you were stupid.
No, master, I am. I'm very stupid, but I have a lot of try hard and a knack for musicality.
But see, there is intelligence, and then there's connection and emotional intelligence, you see?
Can you expand? Can you explain?
What you just did now shows me that you're smart. You're not afraid of showing your true feelings when it comes down to sacrificing your love.
So I'm not stupid.
Not stupid in that sense, stupid in the other sense.
Yes, okay, I think I understand, master.
But we will not sacrifice the love of your life just for me to, achieve a goal I've had my whole life on. But that's okay, because 2 moons for me, there's only been 1 yet for you. So you still have a chance.
So
Well, you will become me and have your own little shitty ass apprentice. Do you see?
I do see, master. I understand.
And it will not require a sacrifice of your loved one.
Can I ask you something, master?
Of course.
Is there a way, a spell mayhaps, that we can trick, or not trick, but use the spell to get Donkey to talk back to me? Because I don't know if Donkey feels the same. If Donkey doesn't feel like Donkey is in love with me as well, then we can kill the bird and help you achieve your dream.
See, now you are showing your signs of idiocy again.
Ah, damn it.
True love can be unrequited, can it not?
Yes, I suppose.
So what does it matter whether the crow feels the same? Will it change your feelings?
I mean, over time, certainly. I suppose not in the moment.
Exactly. That is not true love if it would change your feelings in an instant, is it?
Correct.
Let's talk about your feelings for me, shall we?
Yes, master. I love you. I love to serve you. I want everything to be good, and I'm bad that I F this up real hard.
Yes. Let's talk about your effing up.
Oh no, someone's on a motorcycle outside of the castle. I don't know if you can hear that.
Those damn kids with their motorcycles.
Please go away. I'm trying to save my master's life, fulfilling a lifelong dream for him.
I'm not dying. I'm just old.
What? But I thought the death jingle played. I thought you were dying.
No. That is just my iPhone.
What, master, I thought I wasn't allowed to have an iPhone. You are?
Yes, but like I said, we will switch roles pretty soon as I am old.
Well, we won't be switching roles. You won't become an apprentice. You'll be dead.
Yes. And again, you're showing your idiocy.
I'm sorry. I'm so dumb. I went to Ohlone Community College in Fremont.
How dare you? Ohlone is one of the stomping grounds for all of us ex-wizards.
Oh, I didn't know. I just kind of graduated, and then I wasn't really doing anything. So I thought I'd apply to Ohlone, and I got in because it's a community college. So you just pay to go, and you don't get rejected.
You missed the main point of what I just said. I am now considered myself an ex-wizard.
What?
Yes.
Oh, but master, you're still a wizard. Listen, I can go. I can use the poop, or I can go back to the Circle K and get the blood crystals. We can do this. We can make this happen. You're still a wizard.
It's time. I need to make sure before it strikes midnight tonight that I give you all the knowledge necessary to become your own wizard. Do you see?
I do see. How much more knowledge do I need to gain before midnight?
Quite
tonight?
a bit.
So, okay. So I've been your apprentice for 44 years.
Yes.
are you saying in that time I'm not like, am I past the halfway point, you know?
Yes. If the halfway point was the median,
Master, I don't understand your math jokes.
oh well. Maybe take a statistics course, shall you?
To six course?
Statistics.
Oh, maybe. I thought you said take you to six course, and I thought we weren't allowed back at six course based on the way we acted last time.
Okay, listen. I'm an old man. I'm not going to get this spell, which is my dying wish, even though I'm not quite ready to die. But my next dying wish would be to have you outlive, outproduce, outwizard me in every possible way. I'm paying it forward through my lowly apprentice who is now my equal.
All right, I understand, Master.
Okay. Are there any questions that you need to become your own wizard? Answered by me.
Okay, first question would be, do I take over your room, or am I still going to be down in my apprentice shack?
You will take over my room at the stroke of midnight tonight, and I shan't be back. I will be gone. I will be someone that you talk to at night when I'm not there.
What? I don't understand the last part.
You can never understand. Question number 2, quickly.
What? Okay, once I've taken over your room, am I allowed to change the vibe, or do you want me to leave everything the same?
I have a lot of Bumble and Hinge connects with showing off my room, so you want to probably keep it pretty similar because you want to get those connections.
Okay, but there's no
Don't do
rule.
Tinder though. Tinder's the worst for wizards.
Okay, but there's, just to be clear, there's no rule against me changing the aesthetic.
No, there's no rule.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I get a lot of action on Hinge and Bumble, so just keep that in mind.
Okay, kept in mind. Okay, this is kind of a 2B question. That was 2A. 2B would be, can I change the sheets, or should I leave the sheets the same?
Definitely change the seats.
Okay, hang on. I have a list of questions here. Most of them, let me get to some wizard stuff. A lot of this is about the room.
Oh, it's all
And
logistics.
And the logistics of the room. What I
My
can do
goodness.
there. Okay, this is some bathroom stuff.
Bathroom.
You don't use the bathroom in the house, right? You have one that's off of your bedroom.
Exactly.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet. Okay. Let me see.
Have you been in a relationship with another human?
No, I've only pined for such things.
Wait a
Actually,
minute.
I don't know that I've ever pined for a relationship with a human. It's been mostly birds, assorted birds.
Maybe this is why you find true love through the crow raven hybrid. Maybe you long for a real human, and we can sacrifice this piece of crow raven garbage to achieve my goal.
Master, I said I'm willing to sacrifice if my love is not responded to by Donkey.
Open up the index to 5C. Quickly.
5C.
What does it say about speaking hybrid crow ravens? It's very specific, our appendix.
Speaking hybrid crow raven. Okay, here's some stuff about speaking crow. No. Here's some stuff about speaking raven. No.
Yes.
Crow raven
Crow
hybrid.
raven.
If you want to speak crow raven hybrid, you must use a blood we don't have any blood crystals.
Blood crystal.
Okay, let me see if there's a blood crystal substitution. Okay. In the event blood crystals are not available, you can use a crystal formed by hardened blood. Okay, this seems like this is going to be the same thing. You can use blood covering a crystal. This is all kind of the same thing. Or you can use the excrement of a rabbit tortoise hybrid.
Damn it.
We got any of those?
No. Rabbit tortoise hybrid, that's the hardest one to mate.
That's the hardest one to make.
Yes.
Okay, how about this, Master? I'm willing to sacrifice Donkey for you right now.
No.
End of story.
No. The story begins not with that, but with something anew. My retirement.
Wait, are you just retiring? I thought you were dying.
I said I'm an old man, and surely I am dying as we all are dying, but I'm not dying tonight. I hope.
Why would you? Yeah, but why would you give up your room if you're still gonna be alive?
Did you not hear me? I'm going to walk the earth because I'm not going to be able
Oh.
to do the one thing that my whole life has been dedicated to do because of your inadequacies as an apprentice.
Are you gonna walk into the ocean like a tortoise and drown?
Oh my gosh, how did you know that?
I guess I'm pretty smart after all. That's the scene.
Everybody knows that's how a tortoise commits suicide.
Yeah.
Tortoises and wizards. They have so much in common.
I wasn't saying that that's how a tortoise would kill themselves. I'm saying that's how a human wizard who wishes he was a tortoise would kill himself. Oh man, that was a lot of fun. Bobby, I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, you and I probably haven't improvised together since like 2019
Yeah, at least.
at
Right?
least.
I think, didn't you jump in on a 5-play reunion after doing a 2-prop or something?
Not in 2020, I don't think.
Oh yeah, it was like when you were doing your touring show. It was that
Comedy
thing.
Town. Check out at Comedy Town
Comedy
Chicago.
Town.
Wow, that was great. I felt good. I forgot. You know, one thing I would say all the time to Nia, who gave us a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who Nia, as you know, if this is not your first time listening, is a former guest of the show and my current partner in life. But one thing I have said to her before is that it took me, years in Chicago to get comfortable with a team of improvisers like I was with 5-play and made up theater. And I feel like any one of the 4 of you or Karen, if I did a scene with them tomorrow, I would have as much fun as I just did with you right now. It felt so easy, and just like, we've gone 2 whole years without playing with each other, maybe even 3. And I don't know, it was just fun and loose time. It's just so easy to slip back into that familiarity for me.
Yeah, totally agree, man. I don't know. There's just something about when you're with somebody who you can throw anything at them and be fine with it. That's
Yeah.
such an amazing feeling. Like there's a comfort in that, right? And I love that feeling. So
Yeah, I think it's so hard to, especially I found this in Chicago when the majority of teams were being put together as opposed to people were choosing to be on the teams with each
Right.
other, which 5-play definitely chose to be together. It's so much harder to build that trust with each other on stage when it's just kind of a group of people thrown together. I mean, to use IO and Herald teams as example,
Right.
because those teams are being formed out of auditions, and then people who might know each other, people who might not know each other, people have different relationships amongst each other on the team, and typically they were 10-person teams. It was just so hard to form a universal trust amongst everybody. Whereas when I got to play with 5-play, there were 6 of us at the time when I was on the team, and the 4 of you had such a strong bond already, and then adding me and Karen, like, you guys already had a great relationship with Karen, and I feel like Karen and I bonded over the fact that we were not owners of the theater, so that was nice. But it was just so quick and easy to build trust with you guys because we were friends before, and we had chosen to play with each other. It just felt so much easier for that trust to be built.
Yeah, I think when you're going, everybody's going through their own improv career and they're going through classes, and then you find your people like, oh, every time I do a scene with this person, like we just gel. It's so easy,
Yeah.
And then if you find a couple of those people and then you start performing together, that's just where it starts. Like then it's just going to be like amazing, right? You're always with somebody who you already perform well with.
Yeah. I feel like the audience can always tell when, this is the thing we've absolutely talked about on the show before, but it's like, even if the improv isn't necessarily the best, as long as the audience can tell, like, I mean, you know, the improv still got to be like a C or a B at
Right,
least.
right.
But if you and your teammates are having fun, that's more fun for the audience to watch people who are like clearly fucking with each other and like
Yeah,
messing around and having fun than it
yeah.
is for the audience to be like, oh man, Trent and Bobby are really trying right now. They're definitely
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
trying hard to be funny and to, you
Oh,
know,
that's the worst. Yeah. And
good
another
stuff.
thing, in our school of improv anyway, we're so physical. Like,
Yes.
um, yeah, that's just, I think that's another thing that, that's something that is really hard to come across on Zoom, obviously, but
Hmm.
our physicality and playfulness with each other, that brings it up even another level, right? Just seeing people enjoying each other and being
Yeah.
physical. And yeah, I miss that. I think that's the aspect of improv that I miss the most over the years of not being able to do it. You're just like, you don't have your team to go play with,
Yeah. I agree 100%. One thing we've talked about frequently on this show is that I'm still trying to figure out like how to Zoom improvise, but then this is also improv for a podcast. So it's like we're doing two mediums at once and neither of them are my necessarily preferred medium of doing improv. Like
Right.
obviously my top choice is to do it in front of a live audience. So it's always weird to kind of, you know, figure dance around and figure that out. And I think it's still going, and like certain shows, certain episodes we've done have been more physical than others, and certain episodes haven't. Like I thought there was some good physicality in this one, but like so rarely do we like, it's harder to build out a whole world when we're stuck in these little
Right.
boxes.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
but you did do it. I mean, the only time where I saw any amount of like, and only because I know you, Trent, like trying to figure out how to bring in Donkey. Like that was
Mhm.
the only time in the whole scene where I was like, I almost turned my camera on because I was like,
Yeah, we need
Yes.
Donkey.
we need Donkey. It would have been the
Yeah.
inaugural Val camera on during a scene.
Val knows. I've said to Val knows she has the green light to throw herself into any scene that she feels possible. And this is not the first time where we've talked and she's been like, I was close. I was close.
Yeah,
We're
do
still
it,
waiting
Val.
for it. We're still waiting for it.
Next time. But other than that, like I thought like personally, I never couldn't picture where you were or what you looked like because you embodied your characters and you did use your space
Mhm.
and physicality like within your box. And so like it definitely felt very full, even though it's virtual. And I think this was the most character heavy scene that you've ever done on this show,
Yeah.
Oh,
which I think was very fun and definitely like pushed Trent to a place where I haven't seen him on this show before,
yay.
which was cool. And I definitely appreciated as well the like Bobby, you just giving Trent like barbs, like and just
Yeah.
giving him like stuff to have to deal with like over and
Yeah.
over and over again. And like I think two people who didn't know each other as well, like or just lesser improvisers might not have been able to handle that because it also could have devolved into like a planning scene or like you know
Right.
that kind of thing. But instead it was just like you were saying these things as your characters and reacting honestly as your characters, and it just worked so well. And there was so much talk of like your own like relationship with yourselves and your relationships with other people, and it was a very like detailed, deep scene.
Yeah, layers.
Yeah.
I've been playing with Trent forever, so I know that I can, ask him a million questions and he's
Yeah.
going to be completely fine with it.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I often do when I think about playing with five play. One of the first things that comes to mind is me and Ben trying to fuck with each other, which happens in
Yeah,
every show.
always.
But if I take a step back, it's not, sure, Ben and I do that to each other, but not only do I feel like I also do that to everybody else on the team, I feel like all six of us are comfortable messing with any one of the other
Oh,
six.
yeah.
So I feel like if I was the wizard and Bobby was the apprentice, I would have been fucking with Bobby in the same way that Bobby was messing with me. It's just, I totally agree. I felt, and I on the other side of the coin, I didn't feel like I was like, oh, Bobby's just throwing a bunch of shit at me. What am I? I was like, oh, this is great. Give me another thing to mess
Yeah.
up on. Also talking about the physicality, you're right. The style with which you guys play
So
and the
physical.
style with which you teach improv is a huge, you guys are very pro physicality and play in that sense on stage. And I feel personally so lucky to have had 5 years of both learning from and then doing improv with you specifically, but everybody at Made Up Theater and in Five Play, before I moved to Chicago, because I feel like well, first of all, I moved to Chicago then with a great base, which was all thanks to you guys. But I feel like the teaching in Chicago there was not like a lot of like teaching how to do physicality. It was
Right.
mostly just like, if people are more inclined to do that, then they will. And I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, Val, with Hannah, if I'm remembering correctly, but Chicago, by the end, it felt like was really devolving into like standing around talking heads most of the time. And it felt like the group of us that has now migrated away for the most part was really all about kind of injecting that fun and silliness and physicality and all that stuff back into the scene. And I feel like I was definitely a part of that, and I feel like I was a part of that because you guys were a part of that for me. And it's just like, it's such a great tool to, like, I've seen you guys do scenes where there is 2 whole minutes of nobody saying anything, and it's just, some incredible physicality. And I, especially thinking of the old Made Up Theater space, like there were some great opportunities for climbing on the stage. I mean, that stage was it was my favorite improv stage of all time. You could climb the walls, Val, jump through the windows. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's such an important and underutilized
Totally.
thing, and undertaught, right? Like, yeah, I mean, it's so weird to hear. Like, I personally, one of my pet peeves is talking heads improv, just trying to outwit each other. Like
Yeah.
that does nothing for me, and I think, unfortunately, a lot of Zoom has become that way because out of necessity, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I think on the stage, having physicality, having fun, taking care of each other while you're messing with each other, I think is a glorious thing.
It's so glorious. It's the highest form. I said this in one of the early episodes, but my favorite form of improv is like mischievousness. And when you have a group of 6 people who are not only incredibly physical, but are also totally willing to fuck with or get fucked with, that is, the height of mischievousness to me. And I mean, probably because I did 5 years with you guys is why it
We
is
trained you to
why
be
that,
that way.
yeah. So that's why that's ingrained in my blood.
There was I remember, I don't know, I was either watching the show or maybe I was doing lights and sound for a show, but there was a show and I just remember watching you, and you had this thing where no matter what, you're going to knife everybody on the stage. So you're just like figuring out a way to do it. And I was dying laughing. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Yeah. Slitting someone's throat from behind is one of my favorite improv moves. I remember there was I think we were like filming promos for YouTube or something for Made Up Theater. And I just so perfectly can see there's you and Karen, and you're talking, and I come in behind Karen, cut her throat, she falls down and dies, and you just go, ah! and then it cuts to the next thing or whatever. But like I feel like so many times, especially in a 5-play narrative show, I've absolutely slit the throats of every single member of 5-play before.
Oh man, good times.
Yeah, good times. Great theater. Sorry, Val. It looked like you were about to say something.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I've had the benefit because I've been doing comedy sports like the whole pandemic online.
Nice.
We obviously have to be very physical, and so I've had the sort of gift of being forced to figure out how to like make this space dynamic. And obviously we perform standing up and I'm not
Right.
on headphones attached to something, but like it's it can be done, and it's been fun to see like how they've sort of how we've used the physicality, and then also how they've used like the setups of the actual like shows and stuff to make them dynamic as well. Like I think
Yeah.
there are ways to kind of, and like to the concept of like fucking with you, like now in our virtual shows, like the tech behind the scenes will like do stuff to mess with us like in the middle of the show. Like they'll like play
I love
music,
that.
or they'll pull up like a weird image that we, something we mentioned, 15 minutes ago, and then like put it in front of our face or whatever, like that kind of stuff. And it's just it can be done. And that's I think one of the cool things about this time is people figuring out how to get really really creative with like limited resources. Like sometimes constraints make you more creative.
Yeah.
And
I agree. Yeah.
yeah, and that's been really cool. So I mean, I totally agree. Obviously there's nothing like being physical on stage. Like they're two totally different things. But it has been cool to see that. And to the point of it's not taught enough, I had gone through like 3 programs before I had even a day of anything to do with physical improv.
Wow.
What? How's
Name
that
the
possible?
programs that weren't physical. Name them.
I think you could probably guess.
IO, Second City.
Yeah.
Val, you talking about comedy sports made me think of a question for you, actually. Comedy Sports Chicago has recently found a new physical space, and you guys have been doing some hybrid physical in-person stuff with Twitch stuff. Is that correct?
Well, no. So they
Okay.
actually are doing simultaneous shows where like one show is live and one show is virtual, but
Oh.
they made the stage very AV heavy. So there's
Yeah, there
like,
were a bunch of screens.
there's tons. I think there's 19 like flat screens
Wow.
on the stage, so they can kind of do what I was just describing that the techs do, where like they can pull up like a graphic, or like we do a lot of like themes for our shows, and so like we did like boy bands, so they like pulled up, they had different graphics of the different boy bands throughout the show and stuff like that. So they sort of leaned into like the technical stuff because of how successful they've been on Twitch
online.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That makes me think of one thing that I wanted to bring up, I guess, just hearing Val speak.
Please do
is like a lot of comedy sports training, like just short form training, fast physical stuff. I think somebody who has that training and then brings that into their long form, I think that's an easy way of making your long form immediately better. Does that make sense? Because that physicality is so easily translated into long form scenes.
I totally agree. And if you think about it, I think that's probably why you, me, Five Play, that group specifically plays the way they do, because we were all short form improvisers first,
right?
Who then learned long form after. And I feel like there's definitely, especially Chicago in the 2016 to 2019 range, with people going there, and they didn't have a short form base.
Yeah.
So not only did they kind of look down on short form, which as Val knows, I don't. Nor does Val, nor does Bobby, someone who still teaches and performs short form. But it's a great base for going out and doing long form, whereas I feel like long form is probably a terrible base for then becoming a short form performer.
Yeah, it doesn't work in the opposite direction as well, for
it
sure.
Definitely doesn't. I think that the biggest thing that I figured out, other than the physicality stuff and like big characters and all of that, was because it's over in 2 minutes in short form, just commit, like just go and don't think about it and just like let go. And I try to take that into all of my long form scenes, because I think that like what a lot of the long form programs do is they kind of like get you so in your head that you're like stutter stepping on the sideline, like second guessing every single idea that you have. And like I think that's also where a lot of that like meta commentary style came.
Yeah,
It's like a
for sure.
defense mechanism. It's like you're trying to protect yourself, and it's like you don't have time for that stuff in short form. And so
Yeah.
it's so liberating to just like be like, whatever, it'll be over
Right.
eventually. Like,
It's
and
always go ahead,
no,
finish your
oh,
thought.
I was just gonna say, and if you trust your teammates, per what we were talking about, they
Mhm.
will help you. If the scene's going to hell, they'll get you off stage. Like, you're not gonna be stuck out there forever.
Totally. I was just gonna say it always astounds me to see someone who is basically on stage trying to be cool, or like not embarrass themselves, because as I've said before, we're a bunch of adults playing make believe. Like this is already embarrassing. Like you gotta let that go. You have to no one's cool here, you know? We're all cool in different ways, but like you not committing to the scene or committing to the reality of the universe, that's not cool. That fucking sucks. Don't do that. Commit to everything. You're right, Val. Once you commit, you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather watch someone do bad improv because they are committed to it and just bad at improv than someone do bad improv because they're like, well, this scene sucks. I'm just going to stand over here and shit on everything everybody else is doing.
Oh my gosh,
Yep.
that's the worst.
Yep. It's exhausting.
Nothing crazier than someone who is actively too cool for improv while they are doing improv. That's so dumb to me.
Also, if you're, I think that comes from like not being professional too. Like if you're good enough, you can carry a scene. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you can make it good no matter what. And I think committing to that and being there for each other and making sure that I would much rather just go out and die with somebody than let somebody die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, also speaking to your professionalism thing, Bobby, that reminds me of the oh man, this must have been in like 2014 or 15 where we
Trent
won.
just drops dates the whole time.
Yeah, but never the exact date. I'm
I
always
know.
just like,
It was a range.
this was
2-3
sometime
years.
between 1980 and 2024.
Mm-hmm.
But we did that improv competition at some. Do you remember this? It was at some theater,
Oh yeah.
and we showed up with like there were like 3 or 4, other improv teams or units or whatever that we were competing against, and we showed up, in ties and slacks and like with a plan for our show, and we were. I'll toot our horn here. We were way better at improv than the rest of the teams were, so we should have won. But like just on professionalism alone, we were the only ones, not only were we dressed well, but like we were the only ones like with a plan. And ironic to say, but a lot of the rest of the teams were just kind of improvising what their plan was.
Yeah.
Whereas, we knew what we wanted to do and we executed it really well. Plus, we also, have fun doing improv together and are good. So we did win, but that reminded me of that because I just remember walking in and we were all in ties and like there were dudes in shorts and stuff, and I was just like, oh, that's tough. Like I part of that has always been ingrained into me also. Like in Chicago, I would always try and wear a collared shirt of some variety and pants. And, that was just me personally. I always wanted to, not wear any logos or anything and, try to look my best. And I don't know if it helped, but, I'm sure it did with some audience members. And I'm sure there were other audience members who couldn't care less what I was dressed as.
I think it always helps to act like a professional.
Yeah.
Plus, we did a long form narrative, which I don't even think they had seen that before. And we were
No.
like, we're making up a play on the spot, and it's going to be as good as scripted theater. Watch,
Yeah. And then it was. And then we got a little plaque.
Yeah, we still have that somewhere.
Still sits in the theater to this day.
I have a trophy for improv too.
Yay!
Hey! this
I like how she's like her trophy's like this
No,
big.
yeah, no, it's just up on a shelf behind me.
It's just high.
We're gonna change the name of the show to "We Won Improv" with Trent and Val
We have. That's
instead
great.
of "I Love Improv."
Mhm.
All right, well, Bobby, this was great. This was a great conversation, a great scene. I had a blast in the scene.
I did too, man. I
Um,
love playing with you.
I love playing with you too. Can't wait to do it again in person. Hopefully,
Ah.
in December I can maybe do a 5-play show, but if not,
Yes. Oh wait, we're gonna do
2022
one in
for sure.
December.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. Let me give you the date. Live. To
Okay,
everyone.
while Bobby's looking that up, two things to plug for Bobby. First, of course, Made Up Theater. Bobby, as we said, is an owner of the theater. He's one of the founders of the theater. He's a teacher at the theater. Made Up Theater offers a ton of great classes. Cam and I, actually, previous guest of the show, Cam Hurt, and my two-prov partner Cam, we taught a couple online two-prov classes for Made Up Theater during the pandemic. It was great. The student base that you guys have cultivated at Made Up Theater is great. It's just a great group of people, a great community to be a part of. I'm happy that I was a part of it and am still a part of it. So for more information about Made Up Theater, you can visit madeuptheater.com, and that is theater spelled the fancy way, R-E as opposed to ER, theatre, Made Up Theatre.
Theater, darling, theater.
Yeah, theatre. At Made Up Theater on Twitter or Instagram, Made Up Theater Facebook page, all information there. They do shows every Saturday night, and you guys have just started bringing back the Friday shows. So that's great. It's some of my best times ever improvisationally, and honestly outside of improv have been at Made Up Theater or with the 5-play team, and eating IHOP at 1 a.m.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Also, in addition to being a great improviser, Bobby is a wonderful sketch comedian. Bobby just completed the Bob Curry Fellowship at Second City Hollywood in, what was that, 2020, 2019?
19, I guess. Yeah. A few years ago.
Anyways, that class of people stuck together and formed a sketch group called Diversity Hire Comedy, Hire HIGHER. They have a bunch of sketches out all the time. You can at Diversity Hire Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, or you can search Diversity Hire Comedy on YouTube. Anything else, Bobby?
That's it, man. Thank you.
That's all the good stuff. Bobby, you're great. I love you.
You're great. I love you too.
Happy to be able to have done this with you. Val,
Val.
is there something going on after this or no?
No, not today.
Okay, great. I wasn't sure. I just realized. Sometimes there's shows after the show. Sometimes there's not. As we said earlier, this is twitch.tv/the Trident Network. This is the Trident Network's Twitch channel. There are shows here all the time, 5 days a week now, I believe. Am I right on that?
4
4 days a
Monday,
week?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We take a long weekend here at the Trident Network. We like a 3-day weekend, 4-day work week. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But there's shows here all the time. For more information, you can, of course, subscribe, as we were talking about at the top of the show. You can also visit thetridentnetwork.com for more information about all the podcasts, live shows, recorded videos, everything that we do over there. There's a bunch of new stuff that just came into the ether. Val, anything specifically you want to point out right now?
Monday is the second installment of Do It Well, which is a talk show with a subset of the gals from Matt Damon.
Yes.
Who are rebranding as Do It Well.
Do It Well,
And
yeah.
they just tell stories and answer questions from the chat and just are generally silly and love each other. And the theme this month is Scorpio season.
Hey.
So, as a Scorpio, I'm very excited for that.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So
Shout out to all the Scorpios.
Yeah, hell yeah. So that's like the next show coming up, and it's also cool because it's like a newer show, and it's really neat to watch them do that.
Yeah, Matt Damon Improv, of course, a legendary Chicago improv team, and they have exactly what 5-Play has, which is they are a group of people who love each other and love to mess with each other. So tune into that on Monday on the Twitch stream.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, please, Bobby.
Every improviser should take an acting class too.
Yes.
Ooh.
Bobby is a legitimate actor in addition to being an improviser and sketch performer and all these things.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was lying on my Second City Conservatory application, I said that I took a acting class from Bobby August Jr. at Made Up Theater, and those
Wow.
existed, but I didn't take it. So, you know,
You need to now just to make the universe right.
yeah, I will. I'll go back and we'll do some one-on-one sessions.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Of course, next week, the short form improv show Forgot to Mute will be here in this exact time slot. They're here every other week that I'm not here. Yeah, we'll be here in 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody in the chat who joined us live. Thank you, everybody who's listening to this in the future on the podcast version or watching the YouTube recording of the show. That's all great. Val, thank you as always. Always
Yay,
lovely to
Val.
see you. Always great to get help from you because the Lord knows I need it. Bobby, thank you so much. This was a blast. I had a blast. Great chat. And please, everybody, remember, I'm begging you to remember, I love improv. We'll see you in